But this particular sitting after breakfast has a sense of being kind of a very important gathering time, and when we receive the instructions for the day, when the community is here. So find your royal seat, what will be comfortable for you. I'm going to offer traditional instructions from the Satipatthana Sutta, which is the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Often this piece gets skipped over or separated off, the familiarization with the organic nature of the body, but it's been very powerful for myself, and also I've started to teach it in shorter and longer meditation retreats. It seems that our thinking mind, it's this wonderful tool, but it also is something that gets a little out of hand, like in that fairy tale, if anyone from the European tradition knows the red shoes, where the magician's apprentice sort of starts making magic, and then these shoes start dancing, and there's too many of them, and things like that. A little bit our thinking mind is like that. So many of the meditation practices aim to unify and harmonize our psyche kind of with the body and access to awareness and intuition. So we give our mind something else to connect with. So please just start by feeling the aliveness of the body, as Pat said today. And if you've taken mindfulness-based stress reduction or other things, this morning's meditation was also a sweep through the body. So we're going to sweep through the body several times. So let's meet at the top of our heads. And just let your attention come there. Appreciating that we actually do have this capacity to guide our attention to some degree. And place certain things in the foreground. It's part of our overall intention to train our mind. So you may feel something at the top of your head, or you may not. It may be there's sensation there may not be. But we're also placing our attention at the top of our head on the surface of the body, and just acknowledging through sensation or image or a sense of just knowing that there's skin there, there's scalp. And slowly, gently, and with appreciation, let yourself know, feel, and sense that the whole top of your head is covered with skin, and that the skin is there. It's something natural and organic. It's each of our bodies has this as part of the way we are in our lives in this world. You can let your appreciating, kind understanding just cover your whole head, and just sense the skin in its various shapes and thicknesses, the skin of the forehead. As your attention touches these areas, you might see images or feel sensations. It doesn't matter. It's both. Generally just getting a sense of the location and the naturalness of the skin. And the eyelids, they're very delicate skin there. The nose. Various shapes, orifices of the skin, the mouth, the ears, skin on the back of the head. Gently traveling down, like almost as if your attention is coating the skin with something. Bathing in a sense. Maybe you could imagine your attention almost as a warm shower and make it be very friendly, feeling the neck, skin. And be very gentle. This is something we're practicing and learning. It's an exploration. You can sense the skin on your shoulders. And down the arms. Feeling and picturing the skin of the hands, either together or one at a time. When you do this by yourself, you'll be finding your own pattern. As you notice the skin, it may appear to you with its color and its texture. You might see the fingerprints or the tiny details of the skin under your fingernails. What might look more like a big sleeve in your mind. And come to the front of the torso and let yourself feel it and see it and understand that this is part of your human incarnation. The back of the body, torso. This sense of some kind of tenderness can arise as you view in your mind with your heart and through sensation this delicate, very sensitive, very complicated. And there's people who specialize in the study of the skin for health or for research and all that it does. And sense the skin all around the bottom area of the torso where the legs come together. You can take off the fig leaf of our ancestry and really explore all the area of the genitals and the anus and the buttocks, places we don't visit very often, or we visit only in certain spirit. Here, the same tenderness and understanding for the organicness of this. And then the legs. And the feet. Which are very sensitive and alive. Maybe almost as alive as the hands in some ways, sensation-wise. Down to the tips of the toes. Skin. Now from here, we're going to go inside our skin and go between the skin and the bones to come up the body. Just doesn't have to be a precise picture, but you're kind of slipping your attention internally to draw it deeper inward and picturing and sensing under the surface. And we do this very gently with an open mind and heart to explore and to understand and to feel into. The basic, deeper purpose is for the body and mind to come together in harmony and understanding. To feel and picture the fleshiness and all of the blood vessels and muscles, tendons and things like that in your feet. You can almost think you're getting a foot massage with your attention. Feeling the sensations and picturing letting this observation move up the legs, either one at a time or both legs at the same time. You can see the position that your legs are in or feel it. Muscles at the back of the calf and the thin little muscles and sensations on the sides of the shin bone. The knees, those tendons and sacs of fluid and the little fat pads on the knees and the thighs. And then the lower torso, the buttocks, and all the stuff inside the pelvic bowl. Move up through your torso on the inside, as Pat was saying, to maybe feel grateful for the organs in there that really are working day and night. Doing all the stuff that keeps us alive and getting the energy and mixing it with air and blood and all the little chemical factory that's squirting in there and moving the food around. Up through the upper torso. Maybe just a quick flash up your back to feel the muscles and the things that keep the spine lubricated. And let's say if you have some piece in your body that came in after you were born and is made out of metal or plastic, just imagine it to be actually like part of you, really, that's also helpful and supportive. And feeling the arms, the flesh and meat of the arms and hands. Just to your own degree, as best you can. It's important in meditation to accept what comes, like we have the intention to do different practices, so we open to receive what happens after our intention. Feeling some of the softness of the arms, perhaps. And up through the neck area. And the fleshy places of the head and inside the bony skull, our brain, the wetware, as some people call it. And feeling perhaps the response that your wetware may be having to certain sounds. How awake and alive our organism is. And sensing the eyes and the tongue. So now we're all meeting up at the top of the head again. Studying the organic nature of our body and making a wise and loving relationship with this actual body that we live in, that is our life in a way. Now we'll sense the bones will go, we're going to go up and down a couple more times. So one more in, a little moving into the bones. I'll let you each move down the body through the bones. We'll meet up at the feet. I'll let you know when we're kind of meeting at the tips of our toes. But I'd like, we probably have a somewhat clear picture of our skeleton, so let yourself feel it and know it and embrace the truth of being a human being who has a skeleton in there. Be slowly moving down, trying to have our attention and the image and the sensation kind of close to where the skeleton actually is, the way we feel it. So let's say we're coming to the lower legs and together and getting to our feet pretty soon. Let's meet up at the toe bones. And feel and understand that you've made a trip through your own body, examining with love and understanding as best we each could do that this body is composed of skin, flesh, and bones. There are a lot more complicated ways of going through it, but in general, just take a sort of felt sense snapshot of this living, breathing body. It's not a diagnostic diagram. It's not picture on a wall, it's actually alive. And everyone in the room is the same on this level. You might even have a sort of subtle mental picture of X-raying everyone around you and knowing that we're all skin, flesh, and bones here together. It's quite a miracle of life. So just see if what's come up for you, it may be that there's some slight discomfort with aspects of the body, with some images that may have come up that feel maybe not so fun. Let yourself feel compassion for the body and mind, for the vulnerability and tenderness of living in this organic, embodied life that we have. See if we can just invite some harmony and acceptance into our mind for what this really is. It's the purpose of the exercise. There's a second component of this practice that I will offer at the next sitting at, let's see, when is it? At 10:45. For now, if you'd like to go back and do this 3-part scan one more time, or you might like to notice that the body is breathing here. Sense the aliveness, sense how it can hear and feel. The skin feels coolness and warmth and touch. You might generally make this friendly invitation for the body and the mind to be in harmony and be friends with each other. See what's right for you for the next portion of the sitting. Let us rest here with this integrated sense, and then we'll take that stretch break in about 2 or 3 minutes, just so you can decide what you'd like to do in the second part of the sitting. And then I'll ring the bell, so if you'd like to stand up, you may just form your intention here for what you'd like to do next. If you'd like to refresh your posture, you're welcome to stand up or stick your legs out. Maybe stay connected with your embodiment as you do so. If you leave the room, I should have said this at the beginning, please try to come back. If your body's really hurting, you can take the next component of the sitting in a standing position. It's not going to be very long, and certainly not as long as it was this morning. You're very welcome to wait till that person comes back. You're welcome to stay in a standing pose for the next about 15 minutes of the sitting. That's another one of the poses of meditation practice. If your knees have had enough of being bent. But just see if you can gently persuade your mind and body to connect through this caring attention. You might say that the body is already aware of itself, so getting out of the way is part of letting the mind and body connect. We are fully embodied awareness. And if you'd like to choose some place that you call home, it could be a scan, or it could be the breath, it could be sensing the whole body. That's where we'll be spending much of our time the next few days, and today for those who are here just the weekend. absorbed in thinking of the past or the future or some kind of opinion or judgment about what's happening now. See if you can come just to this moment and the felt sense of knowing that we're here, we're in bodies, sitting together in this room, feeling life. Maybe pleasant or maybe difficult, maybe boring, but this is life as it's moving through our experience just now. I just want to say a couple of words about the body meditation, that it's an encouragement to play with it over the next period or through the retreat. It's intended to help us be familiar and accepting with the actual, reality of the body we live in. I mean, I'm sure that each person in this room has heard a message at some point that your body is too big or too small or too long or too wide, or, absorbed things from magazines and the culture, and wrong shape, wrong color, wrong everything, and or beautiful and perfect, or too old, or, all those things. What we're trying to do is to actually connect with it in a way that is promoting of well-being, but also of wisdom, of understanding. This is an organic thing. It does so much that we could be in awe of, and that we generally kind of overlook as a mind is obsessed with other things. And sort of bringing ourselves down into the organic nature of the body can be quite insightful, playful, at times maybe a little disturbing, like when you start to think about what's actually really going around inside your intestines and stuff like that. That's what it is, though. And as we're living here, we're on the body of Mother Earth. In a certain sense, the bell is embodied just as much as ourselves are embodied. So play with that. You can take your skeleton for a walking meditation if you want, or feel the skinness of your skin. We're just trying to enter our bodies and have this sense of embodied presence. So if you can come back to that again and again today, it would be good.